They answered, and that's the story. Something happened this week. A company that had no website, no headquarters, and no public face suddenly found its voice. Hummingbird AI responded. And I want you to sit with that for a second. For weeks, the answer to "Who are you?" was silence. Then citizens started asking, loudly, and all of a sudden, a statement, a list of names, a defense. So let me say the obvious thing first. That's a win. That's what pressure looks like. That's what happens when a population refuses to be told, "Trust us," about billions of dollars. Keep that feeling. You did that, Trinidad. Now, let's read what they actually said. Carefully, because a defense is only as good as what it's willing to show you. First, how they answered. They didn't hold a press conference. They didn't publish a company profile on a public website for every citizen to read. They released a confidential document to a newspaper. Read that again. The response to "You're too secret" was to hand a private document to one publication and call it transparency. If the goal is public trust, why is the document still marked confidential? Sunlight doesn't come with a non-disclosure agreement. Second, the names. And this is real progress, so let's be fair. We asked for who's behind this, and now we have 4 people instead of 1. Marc-Kwesi Farrell, Ashton Soniat, Nicholaus Rohleder, Jake McEwan. Good. That's more than we had. So do exactly what you did last time. Take those names, search them, independently. Not the press release, the record. What have they personally built? Where? On the public verifiable record? Because here's the trick you have to catch. They said the leadership team has collectively overseen more than $10 billion in infrastructure and over 1 gigawatt of digital infrastructure, collectively, oversaw. Those are 2 of the softest words in finance. Collectively means don't ask any single one of them to own the number. Oversaw means present in the building, not signed the check, not carried the risk. I could stand in a stadium and say I collectively oversaw a championship. The question isn't what the 4 of them stood near. The question is, what did this company, Hummingbird AI Holdings, ever finish and hand over? That number is still 0. A resume of other places you've worked is not a track record for the company signing our deal. Third, the partners. They named the Shaw Group, an engineering firm. They named Hogan Lovells, a law firm. And this is where you have to read the exact words. Shaw provided. A letter of intent. A letter expressing intent to support. A letter of intent is not a contract. It's not a shovel. It's not a dollar. It is a very expensive way of saying, we might if this becomes real. And a law firm as counsel tells you they hired lawyers, which every deal does. Naming impressive companies around the edges is not the same as answering who is in the middle. And fourth, the one that matters most, the money. We asked, whose capital is behind this? Their answer, and I'm quoting the substance, discussions with institutional investors remain confidential because of the project's early commercial stage. Stop. That is the whole ball game. The single most important question about routing billions through a private holding company, who owns it, whose money is it? And the answer is still confidential. They changed everything except the one thing we asked them to change. The face got fuller. The wallet stayed hidden. Now, to be fair, because fairness is our weapon, not our weakness, they said good things too. They said the MOU is only the beginning, that no construction can proceed without engineering studies, environmental assessments, regulatory approval, and public consultation. They acknowledge the concerns about power, about water, about the environment as legitimate. Good. We agree. So here is the reasonable person's response to all of that. If it's only the beginning, then you lose nothing by publishing everything now. If nothing can proceed without approvals, then approve nothing until the owners are named. Early stage is not a reason to hide the investors. Early stage is the only safe time to reveal them. Before the concrete is poured, before the gas is committed, before it's too big to stop. So the questions don't shrink, they sharpen. On the record, again, 1. Name every beneficial owner of Hummingbird AI Holdings. Not the managers, the owners, the people who get paid. 2. What has this company, not 4 separate resumes, ever built and delivered? 3. Who are the investors? Confidential is not a name. If they're real, they have names, and a company proud of its backers introduces them. 4. Publish the full document, the real one, unredacted, unconfidential, for every citizen, not one leaked to one newsroom. 5. Independent procurement oversight, in advance, before, not after. Here's the truth. A grift gets quiet when you ask questions. A real deal gets louder. It can't wait to show you the receipts. So we're going to keep asking. And every time they answer with another impressive word that isn't a name and isn't a number, that is the answer. They gave us 4 names and a confidential document. We asked for the owners and the money. That trade is not finished. Name the owners. Publish the numbers. Unredact the document. Or the answer to, "Is this real?" writes itself. The citizens asked. The company blinked. Now let's finish the job, Trinidad.